I said black people are angry right now with everything going on, from the redistricting to Carmelo to Cyrus, everything, right? To the Kevin Hart Netflix roast, everything. And I said that I hope this is not just another temporary temper tantrum, because we always have a riot, but it never evolves into a revolution.
Exactly.
So when Trayvon Martin was murdered, we were angry at the system. We had a riot. Michael Brown, Freddie Gray, Philando Castile, Amir Locke, Sandra Bland, Sonia Massey, Tamir Rice, right? And now we have Cyrus, Carmack-Belton, and Carmelo.
Yes,
So
I'm glad
people-
you brought that up because
Right.
I want to talk about that.
So people say, well, Dr. Umar, do you think we're finally ready now? No, we're not. Because how is this any different than the reaction we had during any of those previous deaths or previous convictions or Hurricane Katrina, right? Which is 21 years ago.
Type shit.
And we had that. And you would think black people were ready to finally change their reality. We were not. Because we're motivated by anger. Don't ever confuse a black person motivated by anger with a black person motivated by love. Let me give you an example. You're motivated by love. I'm motivated by anger, hypothetically, right? So as long as I'm under the influence of that emotion, I'm going to do whatever needs to be done. You got me? But the minute my emotions calm down, the minute the anger dissipates, so does my motivation. The reason why we don't get more done as a people is we're only motivated while we're angry at the government, while we're angry at white society, while we're angry at the power structure, right? So you'll see us real busy for a couple weeks while
And
we're
then it
angry.
just fades.
Because you wasn't motivated by love. Now, if you're motivated by love, you don't need to be angry to work for your people. You don't need to be upset to make a change. You see that? It is consistent because it's coming from your heart, not your emotions. Black people need to be motivated by love, not anger at the government, because that's temporary. Anger is temporary, but love is a state of mind that will carry you all the way through to the fulfillment of the agenda. So what I'm seeing right now with Cyrus and Carmelo, I see a lot of anger. It's righteous indignation. So it's not misplaced, but that is not going to sustain us. We need something more permanent. It got to come from a love for black people. This is why we're so reactionary, Queen. If you notice the government does something, we react, right? They did this, we react. They did that, we react. Why are we the only people in this country who are not pro-actionary? If you look at Chinese, Arabs, Jews, they do what's right for their people. They don't need nobody to hurt them in order to think about what they should do. You see that? We got to get hurt. And then we start saying, should we do something for ourselves? Because we are reactionary. It takes love to be pro-actionary. So until we move from anger to love, this is nothing but a riot. It's not a revolution.
Type shit, I get it. I want to know your thoughts on all those situations. Let's start with the Cyrus situation. What are your thoughts as far as the overall situation, as far as how that happened?
Deja vu. And the reason the Cyrus Carmack-Belton situation is deja vu, 35 years ago in Los Angeles, a black girl by the name of Latasha Harlins, you might remember,
I do.
about a week or two after Rodney King, that little black girl went into an Asian-owned corner store.
Yeah.
And the Asian woman thought she stole something and she didn't. And she followed her out the store, just like with Cyrus, and shot her in the back of her head.
I remember
And
that.
guess what sentence the Asian woman got? 5 months probation, I think, or maybe a few years of probation, but she didn't do any jail time. She got off. That was 35 years ago. Here we are today with Cyrus, same situation. He goes into the store. They think he stole water. He proved to them that he didn't steal water. He left out the store. So here comes Andy Child, the son. He decides to chase Cyrus, and then his father, Rick Child, comes, and his mom, Alice Child, comes, and they all begin to chase this black boy who hasn't stolen nothing. Allegedly, according to their narrative, in the act of chasing him, his gun slipped out and hit the ground, right? This is what they say. I'm not so sure that was his gun at all.
Okay.
This is me, right?
Right, because there wasn't no video, right?
No video at all. So all we got is the narrative of the killer, right?
Yeah.
I'm not even so sure Rick Child was the killer. I got every reason to believe his son Andy pulled the trigger. Why do I believe that? They say that they chased Cyrus 110 yards A football field is 100 yards. Rick Child is 61 years old. Cyrus is 14, 15, 16. You mean to tell me a 61-year-old short midget-ass Asian is going to chase a 14, 15-year-old athletically inclined black boy 110 yards and keep pace with him? It's impossible. I don't believe he chased him. I believe his son chased him, shot him in the back because he couldn't catch up to him. And then the father said, let me take the rap. And anybody who disputes my narrative, I would ask him one simple question. Why did the mother, Alice Child, take Cyrus's sneakers and both of his cell phones back into the Shell gas station? You just tampered with a murder scene. Why would the mother pick up the man? This is the victim. He's dead. You picked up his sneakers and both of his cell phones. You know what I think? She wanted to see if the cell phones were recording what actually happened before they called the police. And she took the sneakers because if they would have saw the position in which the sneakers were, they would have knew he was fleeing for his life. He got shot in the back. How in the hell can you be in risk of your safety when the person you're pursuing them, they're running away. You're pursuing them over a bottle of water.
A bottle of water.
You can't catch them. So your Asian, narcissistic, racist arrogance motivates you to shoot him in the back. And your defense is, according to Andy Child, the son, he pointed a gun at me. This is the defense. Rick Child claims Cyrus pulled the gun.
It's just a claim. It ain't no fact.
It ain't no fact.
There wasn't no evidence.
But this is what got him acquitted, unfortunately, right? He says, Andy Child, the son, says Cyrus, while he's running, pulls out the gun, turns and looks at him. His father sees this and shoots first. That's a damn lie. You want to know why? Because if you're running with a gun, right? And if you shoot me when I'm running with the gun should be in my hand, not too far from my hand, or the ballistics and the forensic report should be able to show that the gun hit the ground and then it slid over somewhere else. There's no evidence at all that that boy pulled that gun. And we also have the testimony of who? The witnesses at the scene. No witnesses testified that Cyrus ever pulled a gun. They shot him in his back, cold-blooded murder, because they couldn't catch up to him. And he got off. Why? Because black lives don't matter. And Donald Trump is not going to let no Chinese man go to jail right now because Donald Trump just came from China, the first time a sitting president has met with the leader of China since 2017. And China has agreed to purchase several $billions worth of agricultural products from the United States of America. So if you think Donald Trump going to let that Chinese man go to jail for killing that black boy when he needs China to buy up all this dirty food in America, you're out of your mind. It was bigger than Cyrus. It was political. But the sad part is they're saying that there was about 6 or 7 black jurors on the jury that acquitted Rick Child. We don't know their names. We don't know who they are. Are these black freedmen? Are these immigrant blacks? Who are these black people who sat on this jury and found this man not guilty of murder? I would love to meet with these coons because that's what they are, coons, for letting that Chinese man get off like that. Because if a black kid would have shot and killed a Chinese kid and that jury had 8 Chinese people on it, I promise you he going to jail.
And then
to make it worse, the lawyer for Rick Child was a black man with a white wife. Let me say it again. The lawyer for the Chinese man who murdered our son was a Negro with a snow bunny.